how do you straddle the line between, letting Andrew have his personal space and also knowing that what his absence might do to the team situation?
Um, that would be like Andrew, who, as everyone know, previously just had a kid. Maybe I don't know, 5 months ago or so now. That would be like me telling him, like, yo, your wife is going into labor. How dare you leave this team and not go tend to your wife for what that can mean for this team? That's something that's personal to him. That's health related. That's something that's personal to his family. This is no different. This is we're dealing with something that to me feels like has turned into a political war. When you're talking about a vaccination and non-vaccinated, I think it's become very political. And for someone who's not extremely into politics, when you make something so political and people, not everyone is into politics, then you can also turn those people off. And I think there is something to be said for people's concern about something that's being pressed so hard. Like, why are you pressing this so hard? Like, so much, you're just pressing it, pressing it, pressing. I think you have to honor people's feelings and their own personal beliefs. And I think that's been lost when it comes to vaccinated and non-vaccinated. And it kind of sucks that that's been lost because you're essentially not giving anyone, you say we live in a land of the free. Well, you're not giving anyone freedom because you're making people do something essentially without necessarily making them, you're making them do something. And that goes against everything that America stands for or supposedly stands for. And so I don't think, no, I know I'm not in any position to go tell him what he should or should not be doing. And as a leader of this team, I'm not going to go to him and say, hey, man, we really need, no, the hell, you do what you feel you want to do. That has nothing. I'm not going to go and ask him, did he get a polio vaccine? So why would I go ask him if he got a COVID vaccine? I remember the days when your medical history was private. I remember those days. I ain't that young to where I don't remember your medical history being private. And I also remember the days when your voting, who you voted for was private. Your choice on whether you were Democratic or Republican was private. I remember growing up and asking my grandma, who you vote for? And boy, don't ask me who I voted for. Like, are you crazy? I remember those days, and it's not so much like that anymore, So I'm a little old school. I think, we get away from some things as a country, as a whole, as a whole being of humans. We always think we're doing better and you're getting better. And sometimes when you think you're doing and getting better, certain things get lost. And I think medical history right now is one of those things that's been lost. And it's not going back, so I'm not sitting here, crying for it to go back. It kind of is what it is. But I said all of that to say it's not my place nor my business on whether he gets vaccinated or not, or who else is vaccinated, or if you're vaccinated and I'm not, or if he isn't and she is. That's none of my business. And I think, people in this world could do themselves a great deal if they actually took that approach as well, because it's your own personal choice at the end of the day, what you do with your body. And, it's not my place to tell him what he should or shouldn't do with his. Like, that's, because he's not going to come tell me what I should do with my body. And, so just because I am a leader of this team don't give me the right to go tell him what to do with his. That's his personal choice.
On a totally different note.
And Lewis with the New York Post. questions. One, I'm curious, the last time most of us saw you, you obviously had, you were dealing with.
Is there a mic that you could talk into? I apologize. Appreciate you guys sitting here being patient, but I can't really hear you. Can you speak to the mic or something? Or
Sure. Can you hear me now? Is this better?
yeah, appreciate you, bro.
Okay. Two questions. One, the last time most of us saw you, you were dealing with the ankle. How are you health-wise? Is that 100%? And secondly, we can only presume that you're not joining us right now because of vaccination. I'm curious, is that accurate? And if so, or do you expect to be either vaccinated or compliant in time by the time you guys come back from LA after that postseason game, after the preseason game?
Yeah, no, Brian, I appreciate your questions, bro. Honestly, I like to keep that stuff private, man. I'm a human being first, and obviously living in this public sphere, there's just a lot of questions about what's going on in the world of Kyrie, and I think I just would love to just keep that private and handle it the right way with my team and go forward together with a plan. So, obviously I'm not able to be present there today, but that doesn't mean that I'm putting any limits on the future of me being able to join the team. And I just want to keep it that way. So we can keep that private. And if anybody has any further questions about that, please, it would be the same response. I would like to keep that private. And just please respect that, my privacy. And on another note, to answer your first question, it's been a long road, yet it's felt so short. Just having that traumatic ankle injury in front of family, friends, fans all around the world, it was definitely, a moment that I reflect on pretty often, just because, the journey was cut short and it was so fast. And I was in a lot of pain at that point. So.
Well, the time has come to hear from Andrew Wiggins. He has sat down, so let's take a listen.
Do you anticipate being able to fully participate with practices on October 13th with your vaccination status?
I'm just going to keep all that private right now.
I'll just, is the prospect of possibly not being able to play home games something that weighs heavy on you right now?
Again, anything that's to do with my status, vaccination, I'm just going to keep that private. It's a personal matter, so I'm going to keep it personal and private.
Andrew, Janie again. Just out of fairness, people believe you aren't vaccinated, but if you would like to set the record straight and tell us one way or another, that I'm just giving you that opportunity.
Oh, no, that's all good. I'm just going to keep it private for now.
You're a pretty low-key guy, and obviously, this is becoming a bigger story around here. Is this uncomfortable for you, just kind of what this has become?
Nah, it's not uncomfortable. I'm confident in my beliefs and, what I think is right, what I think is wrong. I'm just going to keep, doing what I believe, whether it's one thing or another. I'm just going to keep doing it.
Karl Anthony Towns has been really outspoken about the way COVID has impacted his family. Is Kat a guy that you keep in touch with?
Yeah, I talk to Kat every now and then. We're so cool.
Andrew Anthony Flores with NBC Bay Area. With all the talk you've talked about how hard you've prepared for this season, how disappointing to you would it be if you're not allowed to play at least home games here?
Like I said, man, I'm not even thinking that far ahead. I'm thinking day by day. Trying to figure out what's best for me.
Hey, Andrew, I know it's a private issue, like you said. Last year, when we asked about it, you were a little more open. You said, if I get to a point where I have to take the vaccine, I'll do it. Do you feel like you're in a position where you're going to have to make a choice? And is that frustrating? Because I know you have your personal beliefs, and I want to keep them personal, what, you don't want to tell us. But are you at a spot where you feel like your back's against the wall and you have to make a choice either way? And is that frustrating?
Back is definitely, against the wall. But I'm just going to keep fighting for what I believe and whether it's one thing or another, get the vaccination or not get a vaccination, who knows? I'm just going to, keep fighting for what I believe and what I believe is right. What's right to one person isn't right to the other, vice versa.
Andrew, you seem pretty convinced. What's the reason for not just explaining what you believe?
This is none of your business. That's what it comes down to. I don't ask you guys what your beliefs. I don't ask you guys what you think is right or wrong. We're different people. It can be like parenting. Some people shed their beliefs onto their children. Some people let their children to grow up and believe what they want to believe. Who are you guys where I have to explain what I believe or, what's right or what's wrong? In my mind, we're two totally different people. What you think is not what I think. What I think is not what you think.
Andrew, we're trying to help you tell mass audiences why you apparently haven't done that, taken a vaccine. Does that make sense? What we're trying to give you a voice here.
Really, nigga?
The fuck is he talking about?
I'll say something when I'm ready. The only thing the media has done is kind of make it bigger than it has to be. So, like I said, I'll say my side of everything when I'm ready. I don't work on y'all's time. I work on my time.
In terms of bigger than it has to be, I mean, you stand to lose a lot of money.
And it's my problem, not yours.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Yo, shout the season, man.
Hey, yo,
the season, man.
This nigga boy, big white
Shout to my brother.
We're here. Good to see you, first of all. Rob told us last week that this team is going to be 100% vaccinated by opening night. How big of a priority was that as a leader for this team for you guys to get to that point going into the year? Was that I know it's a personal discussion, but was it a team discussion too to make sure that you guys had the best possible chances to have everybody available?
No, it was never a team discussion, but I think at the end of the day, you're always trying to figure out ways that you can always be available and protect one another and put yourself in the best possible chance where you are available to your teammates, available to to what we need to do on the floor. And the ultimate goal is to obviously win a championship. And, it starts with being, obviously health is the number one thing. And also just holding each other accountable on the floor. So, we're excited to know that we've given ourselves another opportunity to be available to each other, and that's what it came down to.
Hey, LeBron, how are you?
Piggybacking off Dan's question, have you been vaccinated, and do you feel compelled to send a message to the rest of the country about the importance of vaccinations?
I think when it comes down, for me, I can speak about myself. I think everyone has their own choice to do what they feel is right for themselves and their family and things of that nature. I know that I was very skeptical about it all, but after doing my research and things of that nature, I felt like it was best suited for not only me, but for my family and for my friends. And, and that's why I decided to do it. So, but as far as, I don't, you guys should know me, anything that I talk about, I don't talk about other people and what they should do. I speak for me and for my family, and, that's what it's about.
But you don't think the issue is important enough for someone with your stature to speak out on it?
We're talking about individuals' bodies. We're not talking about something that's, political or racism or police brutality and things of that nature. We're talking about like people's bodies and well-beings. So I don't feel like, for me personally, that I should get involved in what other people should do for their bodies and their livelihoods. It would be me talking about somebody if they should, take this job or not. Listen, you have to do what's best for you and your family. If they should relocate, you have to do what's best for your family. So I know what I did for me and my family. I know some of my friends and what they did for their families. But as far as speaking for everybody and their individualities and things that they want to do, I don't feel like that's not my job.
Jonathan, Jamie Say, WKMG. Wondering if you can comment on the Rolling Stone article and your comments that appeared on that about you not getting a vaccination, why you don't want to get a vaccination, and were you misquoted in that article at all?
I would start by saying that I was pretty badly misrepresented in the Rolling Stone article, and because of that, I can understand anyone who may say they don't transparently or overtly trust the media. In a frustrated tweet yesterday, I had noted that true journalism was dying, and to that I would say that I appreciate every single one of you, those that try their best to correctly share the thoughts, the ideas, and the heart of the people that they're asking questions of. I'm not anti-vax. I'm not anti-medicine. I'm not anti-science. I didn't come to my current vaccination status by studying Black history or watching Donald Trump press conferences. I have nothing but the utmost respect for every healthcare worker and person in Orlando and all across the world that have worked tirelessly to keep us safe. My mom has worked in healthcare for a really long time. I thank God, I'm grateful that I live in a society where vaccines are possible and we can protect ourselves and have the means to protect ourselves in the first place. But with that being said, it is my belief that the vaccine status of every person should be their own choice and completely up to them without bullying, without being pressured, or without being forced into doing so. I'm not ashamed to say that I'm uncomfortable with taking the vaccine at this time. I think that we're all different. We all come from different places. We've all had different experiences and hold dear to different beliefs. And what it is that you do with your body when it comes to putting medicine in there should be your choice, free of the ridicule and the opinion of others.
Jonathan, Josh Robbins with The Athletic. Hesitant to get it?
I would start with, I've had COVID in the past, and so our understanding of antibodies, of natural immunity has changed a great deal from the onset of the pandemic and is still evolving. I understand that the vaccine would help if you catch COVID, and you'll be able to have less symptoms from contracting it. But with me having COVID in the past and having antibodies with my current age group and physical fitness level, it's not necessarily a fear of mine. Taking the vaccine, like I said, it would decrease my chances of having a severe reaction, but it does open me up to the, albeit rare chance, but the possibility of having an adverse reaction to the vaccine itself. I don't believe that being unvaccinated means infected, or being vaccinated means uninfected. You can still catch COVID with or without having the vaccine. I would say, honestly, the craziness of it all, in terms of not being able to say that it should be everybody's fair choice without being demeaned or talked crazy to, doesn't make one comfortable to do what said person is telling them to do. Yeah, I would say that's a couple of the reasons that, I would say I'm hesitant at this time, but at the end of the day, I don't feel that it is, anyone's reason to come out and say, well, this is why or this is not why. It should just be their decision, and, loving your neighbors, not just loving those that agree with you or look like you or move in the same way that you do. It's loving those who don't.
Jonathan, a couple follow-ups on that. Mike Bianchi, Orlando Sentinel. I'm sure you've probably been vaccinated for some other stuff, measles, things like that. What's the difference between that and this? And also, how do you feel about the more stringent protocols for unvaccinated players in the NBA?
When it comes to other vaccines, I think it's pretty simple. Or really taking any, modern medicine, I think that too should be your free choice. If I had to take anything when I was a kid, it was the free choice of my parents or whether or not to give it to me. And yeah, I'm not anti-science. I'm not anti-modern medicine. If I get sick enough, I'm going to the doctor. If my current, if my wife, when we do have kids, I'm not going to deliver the baby myself. I'm going to take her to the hospital. And so it really does come down to just, believing that it's a free right of us as individuals to take it or not. And then when it comes to the NBA and them having, restrictions or rules in place, the NBA is free to make those decisions. And I, as a member of the NBA, would follow suit with whatever protocol is set before us. My only point would be, and it was pointed to in the article, but still not in the way that I referred to it. If the NBA is to give us regulations like we can't, maybe sit at the same part of the plane as the other players or eat in the same room as the other players, my only, I guess, thought on that would be, I don't think it would logically follow for us to then play on the court and share the same ball and bump chest and do all those things. So if the NBA is going to do those things, I would honor it. But at the same time, I would ask that it doesn't seem logically consistent.
Okay, we have time for 3 more, so we're going to go this group right here. Go ahead, Joe.
Because of your profession and just the environment in which you play, you have teammates that you're accountable to, your coaches you're accountable to. Do you feel that internal pressure just to make sure that you're available to play games? Do you feel that internal pressure to get the vaccine? And is that something that maybe could be compelling enough to you down the road to get the vaccine?
I would say that, to me, I don't know how you all feel, but getting the vaccine is not the only way to protect the people around you. I think it's an option. I think it's a good option. With anyone who's done it, I see as those who have decided to take it as people who have decided to take it. But there are other measures to be taken to protect the people around you, like all of you are wearing masks, even though I'm sure all of you are vaccinated. Being socially distant or being wise about washing your hands, all the things that the CDC and other people have told us to do to protect ourselves. So I believe that the vaccine is an option. I don't think it's 100% necessary to think about protecting the people around you.
Jessica Ely.
No.
Is it on? Sorry. Jessica Ely with Fox 35. Just wondering, are you worried about this possibly impacting your team down the road when you guys, travel to New York and travel to Brooklyn to play the Nets or the Knicks, because they do have that rule where you have to be vaccinated to play indoors?
I'm not sure if that rule regulates for opposing teams. I'm not sure. But I think, for me, I'll just take everything in stride and figure out things as we move forward. I'm not set in stone. Like I never said I was proudly unvaccinated. Even if I am, I'm not someone to come out and say that in any way. So I say I'll just take it in stride, and if it does come up or if there is any problems, I'll handle it when it comes.
Okay, Jonathan. Adam Shadow, Fox 35. Two parts here. What has been the reaction from your teammates to this news? And I know you're a deeply religious person, a man of faith.
Mm-hmm.
How much, if at all, did that play into this decision or your thinking at all?
When it comes to my teammates, coaches, everybody, to be honest, no one has really cared. I haven't had any conversations with teammates on whether or not I'm vaccinated or not, or whether or not they are vaccinated or not. When it comes to being religious, I think God calls us all to be wise. I think there are people who believe that Jesus is alive, that he's a protector, that he's a healer, that he's a friend that you can trust in before you trust in any man. And I'm not ashamed to say I'm one of those people. But at the end of the day, God calls us to be wise and lean to our own convictions on what it is that we want to do. And that's how I feel about the vaccine. Everyone should be free to make their own decision and choice. And I feel that God could be leading 2 different people in the same place in 2 completely different directions. And if their conviction is as a believer or as any faith that I decide to take the vaccine, then I'll stand with them. And if there's anyone who says, based on my belief or my conviction, I don't want to take it, I will be right there to stand with that person as well.
All right. Thank you, Jonathan.
Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here, back with another NBA 2K gameplay. And today, we're taking on the hometown team, taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. We're taking on the hometown team today. We'll be taking on the champs. Feel good to say that. But anyways, though, Yeah, man. You see the title, you know why you clicked on the video. So let's just get right into it, man. Look, man. The vaccine and all this other shit, man, that's going on right now. It's it's a little it's out of pocket from a media perspective. The media is really pushing for the vaccine right now, and they're coming after anybody who goes against it. YouTube is banning videos left and right, so I'm not really speaking anything negatively on the vaccine at all. I'm not saying anything negative on the vaccine. I am just stating my stance on what I feel about the NBA players being forced to get the vaccine, or people in general just being forced to get the vaccine due to the fact that it's only right. And that is the biggest load of crap I have ever heard in my life. And before we even get started with this whole topic, if you must know, yes, I am vaccinated. But I only did it because I just didn't want to wear the mask no more. I only did it just because I did not like wearing that mask. I hate that mask. I don't want to wear it. My job said if I get vaccinated, I don't have to wear it anymore, so I didn't. So I got the vaccine just so that I don't have to wear my mask anymore. Now I moved down south, and they talking about you gotta wear the mask. So I did all this shit for no reason. I don't know what's inside of me. I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. Like I said, but I am vaccinated. Just so y'all can know. Don't sit in there in the comment section talking about some. Well, but you may not even be vaccinated. No. Listen to what I'm finna say though. I do not think it's fair that NBA players and people in general are supposed to get this vaccine just because. I don't think it's fair. And all just because there's a vaccine out there for a disease that has plagued the earth does not mean that everybody and their mama has to get it in order to get vaccinated. It's not right. It's America. I thought we have freedom to do this. The fact that the only way you could live in New York or in San Francisco is if you're vaccinated. That's not right. Because now you're telling people that you can't live. You can't live freely. You can't live under a free constitution. Since when is that fair? To me, that's not even fair. That's really going against the Constitution, if we're being honest. But I digress. But the problem that I have with the NBA is that the NBA could have easily fixed this. They literally could have just moved Golden State. They could have literally moved the Warriors, the Knicks, and the Nets into different places. You mean to tell me that you don't think that Seattle will want to have a basketball team for a year? I think Seattle would be perfectly fine with the Golden State Warriors as their team. Or this is how I would have did it if I was the NBA. If my players are not fully if my league is not fully vaccinated, and I have a league of players that really don't want to be vaccinated, or they have their own personal beliefs, I'm not going to sit up here and force them to stay here in this if the state is not going to allow my players to play freely, whether they're vaccinated or not, that right there should, that right there, I would have just moved the team. I would have been like, well, until y'all get y'all shit together, Golden State ain't playing in Golden State. The Brooklyn Nets ain't playing in Brooklyn, and the New York Knicks ain't playing in New York. I'm going to take all these teams, and I'm going to move them to other places. I'm gonna take all these teams. I'm gonna move them to other places so that way they can continue on they can continue on their seasons without any interruptions. First thing I would have did was I would have moved Golden State to Las Vegas. If the Raiders are in Las Vegas, you could put the Warriors there too. That would be a good look. Everybody would come out and watch those games. Then I would probably put the New York Knicks somewhere in Connecticut. Then I would have put the Brooklyn Nets in New Jersey because that's where they're originally from. And voila, you fixed the problem. You fixed the problem right then and there. But nah, we gonna comply with the state. Since when is see, this is the thing I hate about the NBA and how hypocritical they are. Remember a couple of years ago when I think it was Charlotte. Charlotte was like, oh, we don't fuck with the transgender. So the NBA canceled the All-Star game and moved it to LA or Louisiana, whichever state. I don't know. I think they moved it to Louisiana, LA, one or two. Because North Carolina did not have a firm belief in the transgender movement. So why are they not doing this for the NBA players with this vaccine? It shouldn't be like this, bro. It's your body, right? It's my body, my choice. You got places out here where they wouldn't even have an all-star game. I think Atlanta didn't believe. Atlanta didn't believe in was pro-life. And I think baseball moved their all-star game somewhere else because Atlanta was pro-life. They didn't believe in abortion. They were against abortion. So when it's about a woman's body, let's be political about it. But when it's about having a choice for ourselves and doing right by our own, and doing right for and it's a choice that we can make for ourselves, why is it being forced? That's my issue. Why is it being forced? Why does Kyrie have to get the vaccine in order to play in Brooklyn? That's not fair. It's not fair. It's not right. It takes away the freedom. It takes away the freedom of this place that we currently live in. They tell us that this is the land of the free, but really you're not free. Like, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I've never had a flu shot in my life. I've never gotten a shot for the flu. Wanna know why? Because I never got the fucking flu. That's why. The fuck? How I'm gonna get the flu? It's like some people, like, break it down like this. Some people just built different, man. Some people can get the flu. Some people's bodies are strong enough to fight through that shit. Like, it's rare when I get sick. I get sick. It's rare. The most common way I probably get sick is allergies. And ever since I've been down here, it ain't been nothing but allergies. But I ain't been sick. I came down here and my nose has been clear. I'm just saying, you know. Man, I just don't believe that it's right. And I wish people like Shaq and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and all them would shut the fuck up. It's not your place. You don't tell nobody what to do with their body. If they don't want to get the vaccine, that is their fucking choice. I know a lot of people going to try to be like, well, what about the Ben Simmons situation? Once again, that is an individual. If he doesn't want to play, that's on him. All I said was he going to ruin himself. He going to ruin... I just wish he would learn. I just wish he had a mentality to get better. That's all I really want for Ben Simmons. That's really what I was talking about. You just want him to have the mentality of being better. You want him to have that mentality, but he doesn't have that. But I digress. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. It's not fair for people to... It's not fair for people to be forced into doing something that's not... to forced into something that they aren't sure about. If they aren't comfortable with taking a vaccine, that is their choice. There is nothing wrong with taking the vaccine. Like I said, I have no problem with people that don't want to take the vaccine. I hate people that try to force people and make them try to take the vaccine. Like, don't try to force nobody to do something with their... It is their body. That is an individual's body. You have the right to do what you feel is necessary. If you want to put tattoos on your body, that is your right as an individual. If that's how you express yourself, and that's how you express yourself. Just like if you're gay, that's all right. If that's how you express yourself, if that's how you want to be identified, that's how you want to be, that's you. I have no problem with that. Nobody has a problem with that. It's like it's okay to express yourself from a sexuality standpoint. You can be gay, you can be transgender, you can be bi, you can be lesbian, you can be all this other bullshit. But when it comes to this vaccine, oh, you need to get this vaccine, you gotta get it. We try to get back to normal. The fuck? Things ain't gonna never be normal, bruh. Things will never go back to 2019. I'm sorry. We will never get that back. We will never get 2019 back. It's over for that shit. This vaccine is a choice. It should not be forced upon people. It should not be forced upon people that have jobs. It should not be forced upon people who have to go to school. It shouldn't be forced upon people who want to travel and go places. It should not be forced. It should be an option. Just like it's like we have to respect everybody else, but when it comes to this vaccine shit, it's like we have no choice. It's like you're either going to get vaccinated or you're a problem, and we're going to attack you. Just look at what they did to Nicki Minaj. Look at what they did to Nicki Minaj. They attacked her because she said something that she heard through another person. People hear shit all the time. Doesn't mean that it's true. She never said it was true. She said she heard. And what did the media do? They humiliated her. They went against her. They had the White House call her, trying to tell her how to do it. Like, tell her what's wrong and what she needs to know. And you don't know why they did that? Because she has the power. She has the power to control the population. And they know this. So they had to humiliate her and make her look bad as a person in order to make her word not mean shit. Even though she never said it was a fact. She said she just heard. But they take that as, oh no, she said she going against the vaccine. If you go against the vaccine, you are a problem. like I said, if you get the vaccine, that is perfectly fine. If you don't get the vaccine, that is perfectly fine. I can't even stand some of my family members who be talking about, you need to get vaccinated, you need to get vaccinated. And it's not fair. You shouldn't tell people what to do with their bodies. Even if you are an elder, you should not tell nobody what to do with their body. That is their body. That is their choice. That is their right as a person. That is the only thing they have control over. It's bad enough company policy is forcing us to do things that aren't necessarily that we don't necessarily want to do. It's not fair. It's not fair how company policy controls everything that we do. It controls how we speak, how we talk, how we dress. It's not fair. Now it's telling us that we have to be vaccinated. It's not fair. I'm just saying, it's not fair, man. Why do I have to be vaccinated in order to play the game of basketball? Why do I have to be vaccinated to flip burgers? Why do I have to be vaccinated to run a cash register at a job? Why do I have to be vaccinated to type in numbers on a damn computer all fucking day? Why do I have to be vaccinated to mop up a floor? Why do I have to be vaccinated to teach children their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s? Vaccination should not be forced. Once again, I have no problem with vaccination. I just don't like that it's being forced. It should not be forced. It should be an option. Everything should be an option. People have religious beliefs. People have their own beliefs. It should not go that way. But the problem is company policy controls everything. And we, as Americans, we don't know how to fight. We know how to fight it. We just choose not to. We choose not to fight company policy. I fight against company policy at every fucking job I go to. And that's why I always get let go. Like, I'm finna get let go from this job right now. This job is finna let me go. They finna say, fuck you, nigga. You are out of here. As soon as I do one more thing, all I gotta do is one more thing. If I so much as sneeze in the wrong direction, I am out of there. But I don't care. I already got a backup plan. So fuck you. And my backup plan is simple. My backup plan gonna make me more money. And I'm gonna have more free time on my hands. So you think I care about losing this little funky ass job? No, I do not. But I digress. All I'm saying, man, is that it's not fair for people to force Kyrie to get the vaccination. Why should Kyrie get the vaccination? And why is they trying to make this public? As the man stated, that is a personal matter that should remain private. That is between him, his family. That's between him and his family. That it is not our place to ask this man 500 questions as to why he doesn't want to be vaccinated, or if he is vaccinated. It's not our place. That man has the right to believe in what he wants to believe in. That man has the right to do the things that he wants to do. It's fair game. But the media, company policy, they all do these things where they want you to be. They do this thing where they want you to be under them. They want to stand on your shoulders. They want to tell you, they want to stand on your shoulders, put an apple in your mouth, and control you like a puppet. Put you on a string, move your arms and make them do certain things, move your legs, make them do certain things, and you have no control over yourself. Do not let them attach the strings to you, people. Do not let them do that. Do not let people stand over your shoulders. Do not let company policy punk you. Because there's always a better solution on the other side. Like, it's ridiculous. And I appreciate LeBron for keeping it true. I appreciate Draymond for keeping it true. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate Andrew Wiggins for standing up for what he believes in. You know what I'm saying? And not letting anybody, tell him any differently. I appreciate Kyrie Irving for always being the person that he is. I appreciate Jonathan Isaac for being, Jonathan Isaac has really been somebody who's been catching my eye lately as a person. From him standing up during the national anthem, not taking a knee like everybody else was doing, not trying to fit in with the crowd, being his own individual self, not letting the peer pressure of, the people tell him how he should, react to certain things. He has his own brain, and I like that about that brother. I appreciate these people. Also, Bradley Beal, he came out and said he's not vaccinated. And, what I'm saying? He's going to do what he needs to do for his team. That's all he's focused about is the game of basketball. And that's what the focus should be on. The focus should be on basketball. It should not be on our people's vaccination status. That is, what is this? I thought this was sports, not TMZ. Since when did journalism turn into TMZ? Jonathan Isaac said it best in his interview. He said, journalism has taken a very low. Journalism has taken a very sad turn and has gotten lower and lower. There are more people lying. There are more people putting out fake articles. There are people putting anything out for clicks and attention. And it's not right. It's not right. It's just not right. Like I said, man, I'm gonna just say this. We are individuals. It is our bodies. It is our right to do what we want to do with our bodies. Like I said, if you want to get tattoos all over your body, that is your right as an individual. I'm not gonna say as an American citizen. I'm gonna say as an individual in life, wherever you live. You have the right to put tattoos all over your body. You got the right to put piercings all over your body. You got the right to cut your hair. You got the right to have a beard. You got the right to not have a beard. You got the right to be. You got the right to be what you want to be, believe in what you want to believe in, live how you want to live. You have all those rights, and nobody can take them away from you. I just hate when things are being forced on us and we just have to accept it. Like, there's a lot of things. Like, I could bring up the whole LGBT thing, but I'm not gonna go down that route just yet. I got a video. I got a special video for that, so we can wait on that one. Which I personally, it's not so much about the adults; it's more about the kids. But we'll get there when we get there. I got a specific video on that. But like I said, man, everybody is entitled to do what they want to do. As an adult, you have the right to do what you want to do. If you're a parent and you feel like you need to get the vaccination, or you feel like your children need to be vaccinated in order to stay in the house with you, that is, if that's what you have to do to be all right, to feel comfortable and live happily, then that's what you do. Should not be forced into anything. But should only be forced. The only thing that could be, the only thing forced, there should never be anything forced on us. The only thing that should be forced on us is to be better. That's the only thing I would say to be forced on us, is to be better than we were the next day. Than we were the previous day, I should say. That's the only thing we should force on ourselves, is to be better than we were the previous day. It's all about progression. It's all about getting better. It's not about being vaccinated, unvaccinated. It's not about being black or white. It's not about being rich or poor. It's not about your religion versus somebody else's religion. It's not about none of that. It's just about progressing and getting better. As long as we're getting better in life and we're progressing and we're making the right moves that make us happy, there is no problems. How you live your life, there should not be no problem. So I'm gonna just leave that right there for right now. I'll get back to y'all in the next video. Tell me what y'all think down below in the comment section. You know, me personally, man, just live your life, man. Don't let nobody tell you how to live it, man. Just live your life. You got the right to live your life. If you're old enough, if you're an adult, live your life. If you're a kid and you still figuring out, you know, it's best to listen to your elders. That's just a little bit of advice. Trust me. If I listened to my elders, I would probably be in a lot better situations than what I'm in right now. But I'll leave it right there for right now. See y'all in the next video. Till then, peace out.
Hey, C, you want to start?
Looking at your schedule coming up, it looks like there will be some off days, chance to, give your body a rest. But it got me thinking, what's your perfect off day, MP?
I mean, it's a little embarrassing, but when I get a day off, I usually just spend it watching film, bro. Just because I'm resting my body doesn't mean I can't find something about my game I can improve on or something I can take advantage of in my opponents. I gotta work to switch my brain away from basketball. But one thing like that, I've been helping me was my very talented friend, Lil Meadow. He's a rapper, bro, actually, and he's putting together a show at the B-Box.
A very slick bit of promotion there, MP.
Hey, look, I'm just trying to spread the word on a show that's about to pop.
Mm-hmm. You've been focused a lot on music lately. So are you worried that might open you up to criticism that you're not devoted to basketball?
I'm not about to start worrying about what other people think. Bloggers, teammates, coaches, they all just jealous because there's nothing I can't do, bro. Look, come to Little Metal Show and you'll see how I created another superstar.
All right. Well, thanks, MP. I hope the show goes well for you and Lil Mel.
Hey, yo, thank you, Andrew. Okay, Candace.
So I'm working on a piece on the concept of defensive awareness and new techniques that are being developed to coach defensive awareness, something that's traditionally looked at as more of an innate ability. You showed great defensive awareness tonight, as usual, so I'm just wondering how you developed that part of your game.
That's just being a hooper. You gotta love this game, live for this game, and for me, I don't think there's any replacement for in-game reps. That's the whole point. Play the game, learn the game. And it's thousands of hours to build up to that kind of thing. I'm not sure wearing a VR helmet or whatever Steph's doing these days is where it's at, but hey.
Oh, so you're not big on training technologies then?
Hey, whatever floats your boat, but I'm a little bit more old school in the sense that it's all about playing the game to me. You practice drills, guess what? You get better at drills. And if you want to get better at playing, guess what? You play the game. That's just how I see it anyway, so. All right. Let's take some questions. Yo, Johnny Luck, why don't you start us off?
So what was it like to finally start?
It's fun, John. Look, it's just fun to play basketball. You know what's funny? You forget that sometimes when you get to the league, you get caught up in all the hype and the money and the media attention, especially the media attention. But the reason I'm here is because I love to compete, and I'm here to play basketball at the highest level. There's no substitutions for this game. You got to practice. You can do drills. You can do scrimmages, but nothing scratches the itch like competition.
You really don't seem like the type of person who complains. Do you think that hurts or helps you?
My parents, they didn't raise me to whine when things didn't go my way. Look, I'm sure I could have sped things up maybe a little bit if I had been more vocal, but that's a fool's errand. You're just drawing unwelcome scrutiny at that point, and you better be noticed for your hard work and be rewarded a little late rather than pushing early for something and not being ready for it. Frank, you up?
Wow, you looked really confident out there tonight in your first start. Now, what did Coach say to you before the game?
He just said, trust my teammates, play my game, and just try to have fun out there, man.
And did that advice work for you?
Sure. I think the most important thing you can do is just let the game come to you rather than trying to force anything. And once I'm established, maybe I'll be able to impose my will on the game a bit more. But for now, I'm content with just being a part of the team and just taking open shots when I can.
Well, it definitely seemed like they were leaving you pretty open tonight, though.
Frank, that's because I'm a nobody, bro. I'm just a street baller. And if I'm lucky enough to stick in this league, them other teams, they gonna have me on a scouting report and it won't be so easy to get those shots off. But for now, I'll take it where I can get it.
Okay, well, I see that. But does a game like tonight raise expectations for you this season?
Look, Frank, when you play like that, it sets an expectation, and you got to sustain that level of performance. Now, that's going to be my challenge. The challenge for any player in this league, actually. You don't get this far if you can't play basketball. But if you want to thrive in the NBA, you got to be consistent. You got to consistently perform on a nightly basis. And my challenge is to accomplish that this year. That's something we've been talking about with Coach. That's our word, man. Consistency. All right, no more questions? Thank you.